Parents are shaking in their boots. I'm so stupid. What's up? It's your girl Serena Marie, and today I would like to continue our conversation around race with a discussion about why I think Black History Month is still important. Before we get into it, I want to invite you to leave a comment down below sharing what your thoughts about Black History Month are. And while you're down there, make sure you hit the link in my description button taking you to last week's video about why I don't like talking to white people about race. Awkward. So around this time of year in the UK and in February in the United States, outlets start to publish articles like this, and this, and that one too. Apparently people are still wondering why we have Black History Month and why it's important. So let's dive into that question. Why is Black History Month still relevant in 2021? So a little background on Black History Month. In the United States, Black History Month was first recognized in 1976, and then in 1987 in the UK. In both countries, people were tired of the contributions of Black people being ignored, while schools focused on traditional events and achievements of white figures in history. Using 1 month out of the year to acknowledge Black history and the impact, the contributions that Black people have had in both the US and the UK is the least we can do. This feels even more relevant to me as I continue to have conversations with my Black friends here in the UK about Black history and learn that as students, they were taught about Black American history, about Martin Luther King and the Civil Rights Movement in the US, and less about contributions that Black people have made here in the UK, as if they don't have their own stories that need to be told.
They have a Black History Month, but we don't have a White History Month. Well, all we've ever been taught is white history.
Anyone still asking why Black History Month is relevant in 2021 just needs to look at the conversation around critical race theory in the United States. The topic has been banned from classrooms in 5 states so far. So what is critical race theory? This is a complicated answer. Kimberly Crenshaw, a Harvard Law alum, first coined the term critical race theory. In a recent article by the Washington Post, they explain that critical race theory is an academic framework centered on the idea that racism is systemic and not just demonstrated by individual people with prejudice. Kendall Thomas, the co-editor of Critical Race Theory, the key writings that formed the movement, states critical race theory is an effort to move beyond the focus on finding fault by impugning racist motives, racist bias, racist prejudice, racist animus, and hatred to individuals, and looking at the ways in which racial inequality is embedded in structures in ways in which we are often very unaware. Some that are opposed to critical race theory argue that it has a Marxist framework, which is not something that I'm going to try to explain right now. Not the time or the place. I'll link resources below. But in general, the understanding of critical race theory is so broad that many people don't know what they're trying to stop. Awkward. As conversations in classrooms about systemic racism have increased around the world as a result of the uptick in police brutality or our awareness of it, parents are shaking in their boots. I'm so stupid. Some parents are worried about their children coming home feeling guilty for being white. Parents are upset that their children will be taught that white people are to blame for everything. Oh gosh. So people want to put a stop to these conversations. But how do you grow up in America and ignore these conversations, especially during Black History Month, especially when talking about Black history? So much of Black history, so much of what Black people have overcome, I should say, has been rooted in systemic racism. Systemic racism, or institutional racism, is defined as the systemic oppression of a racial group to the social, economic, and political advantage of others. Like I said, overcoming systemic racism is such a large part of Black history, from voting rights to desegregation to redlining, just to name a few. Discussing these topics is not important to Black people because we want to make white people feel bad. Like I said in my last video, I'm trying to avoid white guilt and white tears as much as possible, trust me. Instead, we continue to discuss these things to acknowledge what our ancestors have been through and how far we've come as people. How can I not be proud of what my ancestors have gone through to create equity and equality in the United States? As we all know, the civil rights movement did not just benefit Black people. Black people have worked hard to create change for all minority groups. So, to end, Black History Month is not only a time for us to learn about the oppression that Black people have faced in the United States and in the UK, but a time to be proud of how far Black people have come. It's a time to celebrate Blackness, something that we have been taught to be ashamed of for far too long. Anyway, Tina Knowles Lawson said it best.
Part of it is accepting that it's so much beauty in being Black. Loved everything about it, just it's such beauty in Black people.
Well, I'm so glad I've gotten all of that off of my chest. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you would like to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to comment down below what's your favorite part about Black History Month. I know that's not what I said the first time. But let's just have a conversation about Black History Month in the comments. And I'll see you in the next video.